Let's dive right into today's explainer, because right now, a massive surge in agricultural trading is quietly unfolding between the US and China. Today, we are unpacking the raw numbers, the heavy-duty logistics, and the high-stakes geopolitical chess match happening right beneath the surface of what we're calling the Great Soybean Spree. We're going to start with the sheer scale of this thing. Recently, Asian traders reported that China's state-run buyer, Sinograin, unleashed an absolute flurry of purchases, scooping up 10 to 15 cargoes of U.S. soybeans. And just to be clear, these are not small deliveries. We are talking about massive ocean-crossing shipping vessels booked for shipment this coming October and November. When a massive state-owned entity like Sinograin makes a move this large and this sudden, believe me, the entire global commodities market sits up and pays attention. And to put that momentum into perspective, the U.S. Department of Agriculture just confirmed a separate, massive sale of exactly 122,000 tons of U.S. soybeans bound for China. Now you might be wondering, why do we have that highly specific number? Well, under U.S. regulations, export sales that exceed 100,000 tons actually have to be reported within 24 hours. So the data is coming in hot and fast, and it all points to a staggering influx of American crops heading straight to Chinese ports in the new marketing year.
Section 1. Favorable market forces. Let's look at exactly why they are buying right now.
It's really a perfect storm of economics and politics. On the economic side, U.S. soybean prices have been dropping. You pair that with better weather conditions across the U.S. that has significantly boosted crop prospects, and suddenly, American soybeans are incredibly competitive on the global market. It just makes straightforward financial sense to buy. But running parallel to that, we have a major political engine driving this. Recent trade talks between Washington and Beijing actually resulted in direct commitments from China to boost their purchases of American farm goods. We're talking sorghum, barley, and of course, soybeans.
Section 2. The 25 million ton promise. Let's track that commitment.
Because these purchases definitely aren't happening in a vacuum. According to the White House, China has committed to buying 25 million tons of U.S. soybeans annually. And here's where things currently stand. They've already secured about 6 million tons for the upcoming U.S. crop year, which officially kicks off on September 1st. That leaves 19 million tons to go. That 6 million is a massive, solid down payment on their 25 million ton promise, proving that the gears of international trade are actively turning to meet these diplomatic quotas.
But behind all these towering statistics are actual people. Mike McCraney, a South Dakota farmer and the chair of the U.S. Soybean Export Council, was on the sidelines of a Chicago conference recently and pointed out that this flurry of buying is a really vital indicator that Beijing is honoring its pledges. For American producers like McCraney, these aren't just abstract numbers thrown around in diplomatic meetings. These are real livelihoods, and hitting that 25 million ton mark is absolutely critical for the U.S. agricultural sector.
Section 3. Clearing the silos. Let's talk about the logistical maneuvering required here.
Think about it. You literally can't just order millions of tons of soybeans without having somewhere to put them. Sinograin is the entity that manages China's strategic grain reserves. So, to prep for this massive U.S. influx, they are actively auctioning off their older stock of imported soybeans. Get this, at their most recent auction, they offered up 501,000 tons of imported soybeans and successfully sold about 67% of it to domestic buyers. By doing this, they are physically emptying out the silos to make room for the diplomatic goodwill that's arriving by ship from the United States.
Section 4. Diplomacy through agriculture. This brings us to the geopolitical climax of the whole situation.
We really have to pause and ask the most important question of this entire explainer. Why buy so much, right at this specific moment? Sure, we know the economics make sense, and we know there's a quota to hit. But why the sudden aggressive flurry of 10 to 15 cargoes all at the exact same time?
Well, it all happens in quick succession. In August, we get this aggressive flurry of massive U.S. soybean purchases by Sinograin. Right on its heels, September 1st marks the official beginning of the U.S. agricultural marketing year. But here's the kicker. Next month, in September, is Chinese President Xi Jinping's highly anticipated visit to the United States. So this agricultural buying spree isn't just about feeding livestock or filling silos. It's a highly visible, highly lucrative economic olive branch. It sends a crucial signal of improving trade relations just weeks before the leaders of these two nations meet face to face.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. When the international stakes are at their absolute highest, are agricultural commodities actually the most powerful currency in global diplomacy? Thank you so much for joining me, and keep questioning how the everyday items around us literally shape the world.